Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sam's podcast, episode number 6. This is episode 6 of Sam's podcast. We'll be talking about talking about things that have happened around MLB and stuff like that. We start off with some big free agent news around the MLB. The Arizona Diamondbacks have agreed. This was reported midnight last night at like 12:50 or so. The Arizona Diamondbacks per MLB and hold on. Per MLB per David Adler, the Arizona Diamondbacks have agreed to a 6-year, $210 million deal with right-handed ace pitcher Corbin Burnes, who this past season played for the Baltimore Orioles. Ended up leading them all the way to the division series. Then they lost in the division series. I can't remember who it was to, but I do know they lost in their very first round that they played in. Also, let me real quick do this. Open up the chat. But yeah, so Corbin Burnes has agreed to a 6-year deal, $210 million deal. 6-year, $210 million deal with Corbin Burnes. I do have the chat open. But yeah, so do I like, again, per MLB, per David Adler of MLB.com. Do I think this is of course I think this is a good move for the Diamondbacks. Clearly they are looking to be aggressive. This offseason they are clearly looking like they want to be competitive next year, which I feel like they've always been, but I feel like this makes them a little bit more competitive now that they finally sealed up their ace for a good period of time. By the way, this deal also comes with an opt-out. The deal includes an opt-out clause after 2026. Source told MLB.com's Mark Feinstein on Saturday. How the D-backs have not confirmed the deal yet. They still have to do some stuff. But once they get it official, it'll be a 6-year, $210 million deal that was agreed with Corbin Burnes that includes an opt-out clause after 2026. So after not this coming season, but next season. But yeah, and I love it. The Diamondbacks. I love it. The Diamondbacks are looking like they want to be competitive again next year. They look like they want to get back to back to the playoffs, and this is a good way to start. This is a good way to start. You go out there, get an ace for your pitching staff, a really good ace, and you upgrade your pitching staff. Shout out to everyone in the chat so far. Shout out to everyone that's in the chat. But yeah. All right, let's now talk about some basketball. we'll be talking about the standings and like the scores and stuff. So we start off with on ESPN. We start off with the standings for the conferences. All right, so in the ASUN, we got North Alabama. In the America East, we got UMass Lowell. In the American Athletic, we got Memphis. Atlantic 10, we got St. Joseph's. Atlantic Coast Conference, we got Duke. Big 12, we got Iowa State. Big East, we got Marquette. Big Sky, Northern Arizona. I really should just only repeat the standings when something's changed because nothing's changed here. Big South, High Point. Big 10, Michigan State. Big West, UC San Diego. Coastal Athletic Association, Hampton. Conference USA, Liberty. Horizon League, Youngstown State. Ivy League, Columbia. Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, Marist. Mid-American, Kent State. Mid-Eastern Athletic, Norfolk State. Missouri Valley, Indiana State. Mountain West, Utah State. Northeast, Central Connecticut. Ohio Valley, Morehead State. Patriot League, Holy Cross. Southeastern Conference, aka the SEC, Alabama. Southern Conference, Furman. Nichols in the Southland Conference. In the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Southern. In the Summit League, North Dakota State. Just by the way, David Oral Roberts still in dead last. Sunbelt, Arkansas State. West Coast Conference, Oregon State. West and the Western Athletic Conference, Grand Canyon Lopes. All right, so if we take a look at scores, so the Baylor Bears pulled off a pretty big win, pretty non-surprising win over Arlington Baptist last night. 107 by a final score of 107-53. Baylor is now 8-3 overall. They are now 6-0 at home. They are still undefeated at home at the Foster Pavilion. Arlington Baptist now 1-11. The games today. So at 1:00 p.m. on ESPN2, 16-ranked Ole Miss takes on Memphis. At 3:00 p.m. SEC Network, Abilene Christian takes on 13-ranked Texas A&M. On Fox at 3:00 p.m. 22-ranked UCLA takes on 14-ranked Gonzaga. 5 p.m. on Fox, Utah State takes on 20-ranked San Diego State. And that's all the games for today. For tomorrow's another pretty big day. Starting at 12 p.m. noon, ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus. 6th-ranked Florida takes on Stetson. Prairie View A&M takes on 12th-ranked Oklahoma at 1:00 p.m. on ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus. 1:00 p.m. Big Ten Network, 24th-ranked Illinois takes on Chicago State. 2:00 p.m. ESPN Plus, SEC Network Plus. 5th-ranked Alabama takes on South Dakota State. 4:00 p.m. Big Ten Plus, Weber State takes on 9th-ranked Oregon. 5 p.m. Big Ten Network, Toledo takes on 21th-ranked Purdue. And then that's it for those games. But just gonna read this. Oh, okay. But yeah, and like I mentioned, Houston. Like I mentioned in last night's stream, Houston plays on Monday. I did clarify that is on a Monday. Houston plays on Monday against Oklahoma State for their first game of conference play. And then Kansas plays their first game of conference play on New Year's Eve, Tuesday, 31st, against West Virginia. Baylor also plays on New Year's Eve for their first game of conference play against Utah. I believe Houston, Kansas, Baylor are all the home team for all three of those games. Let me just clarify that. No, I was wrong. Houston is the only one on the road. 15-ranked Houston takes on Oklahoma State in Stillwater, Oklahoma, at the Gopher Iba Arena. Kansas, 7-ranked Kansas plays West Virginia in Lawrence, Kansas, at the Allen Fieldhouse. Baylor. Keep burping. Baylor plays Utah at 1:00 p.m. Sorry. Yeah, we know that. At the Foster Pavilion in Waco, Texas. So yeah. Baylor and Kansas play. Kansas is the home team. Baylor's the home team. Houston's the only one coming up that will not be the home team. Out of 3 games, Houston is the only one that will be on the road playing. And actually, if we take a look, oh my gosh, this thing. If we take a look, let me see. We take a look at Baylor men's basketball. If we take a look at their schedule, by the way, Noah Chadomir for Baylor had a total of 19 points and 24 rebounds in their 107-53 win over Arlington Baptist. If we scroll down here, right here. All right, so they have Utah, but then they go on the road and they play at 1:00 p.m. on CBS on the 4th of January, against 3-ranked Iowa State, in the Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa. And then they're right back at home playing the Cincinnati Bearcats on the 7th at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus in Waco, Texas, at the Foster Pavilion. And then they're right back on the road for 2 games against Arizona State and Arizona. Against Arizona State at 8:30 p.m. on ESPN Plus on the 11th of January, in Tempe, Arizona, in the Desert Financial Arena. And against Arizona at 10:00 p.m. at night on the 14th on ESPN. They play in Tucson, Arizona, at the McCallie Memorial Center. But yeah, and if we take a look at Houston. Houston. Here we go. So Houston, yeah, they play Oklahoma State in Stillwater, Oklahoma, but then they come right back home for 2 straight games against BYU and for 2 games against BYU and TCU. They play on the 4th of January at 1:00 p.m. on ESPN Plus against the BYU Cougars. The Battle of the Cougars in the Farida Center in Houston, Texas. And then they stay in Houston, Texas at the Farida Center, taking on the TCU Horned Frogs. Then they go back on the road to play at 5 p.m. on ESPN Plus against the Kansas State Wildcats in the Bramlage Coliseum in Manhattan, Kansas. But yeah, if we take a look at Kansas's schedule, Kansas. So they play at home against West Virginia this coming Tuesday, and then they go on the road to play at 3:00 p.m. on January 5th on ESPN Plus against the UCF Knights in Orlando, Florida, at the Addition Financial Arena. And then they come right back to home and play at 8 p.m. on ESPN2 against Arizona State Sun Devils. In the Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence, Kansas. Then they go back on the road for 2 games. They go back on the road for 2 games against 17-ranked Cincinnati and 3-ranked Iowa State. So against Cincinnati Bearcats at 1 p.m. on the 11th on ESPN Plus in the Fifth Third Arena in Cincinnati, Ohio. And then they travel all the way to Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa to play at 6 p.m. on ESPN2 on the 15th against the 3-ranked Iowa State Cyclones. So that's the schedule for Houston, Baylor, and Kansas, all 3 of them. But yeah, shout out to Sarah. Remember to look at the camera when you give your opinions. Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's Baylor, Kansas, and Houston's. That's Baylor, Kansas, Houston's upcoming games. For right now. At least upcoming like 5 games or so. Next 5 games or so. But I do want to take it back to MLB. So the Astros. One thing that we've noticed for sure, is that the Astros need to start making moves because people are going off the free agent market like crazy. People are going off the free agent market. Teams are signing these good free agents as well. Like I just mentioned earlier at the beginning of the live stream, Corbin Burns signed the 6-year, $210 million deal with the Diamondbacks. But there was also Juan Soto signed with the Mets. Now, the Astros were never going to get Juan Soto, but still, free agents are flying off the market. Even a lot of trades are happening. Like Cody Bellinger was traded from the Cubs to the Yankees. Tucker was actually we're getting rid of more players than we are getting. Tucker was traded away from us to the Cubs. And in exchange, we got Hayden Wesneski, Isaac Paredes, and Cam Smith. But we definitely took the L in that trade return. We definitely took the L in that trade for sure. Oh, I totally forgot about this. Tigers signed a 1-year deal with Gleyber Torres. Totally forgot about that deal. I mentioned that yesterday in one of my streams. I mentioned that Gleyber Torres signed a 1-year deal. I believe it was like $66 million or something with the Detroit Tigers. But yeah, so Tigers are improving, Diamondbacks are improving. There are a lot of teams improving. Red Sox are improving. I mean, heck, they signed Walker Buehler. They signed a bunch of other free agent stars from the free agent market. They also signed a bunch of other stars from the free agent market. Yeah, there are a lot of teams this year. There are a lot of teams this offseason that are going big. Even the Angels are making some moves, trying to be more competitive this next season. And and yeah, I mean, and I'm happy for them. I'm not saying they can't be aggressive. They can. I'm glad to see they are, because the Angels, like, well, you guys saw the Angels. They were a bad team this past season. They were a bad team overall. They just had a horrible season. In fact, if I take a look, MLB, if I take a look at the standings, regular season, yeah, Angels finished dead last in the standings with a 63 win, 99 loss record. That ain't good if you're the Angels. So I'm glad to see them make some moves, at least a couple moves. Oh, I see this here. Anyways, but yeah. So I'm glad to see this work out. Or I'm glad to see the Angels finally making some moves and stuff. There have been a lot of trade rumors. There have been a lot of rumors and stuff talking about a potential Mike Trout trade, and specifically to the Phillies. Which, can I see it? I actually can, because I think I can mainly see it just because he's been wearing a somewhat red jersey for his entire career, basically. But at the same time, I feel like the Phillies could use a hitter like Mike Trout. I feel like Mike Trout. But here's the other thing too: is Mike Trout. This is my opinion. Here's the thing: is Mike Trout. You never know when he's gonna get hurt. He's always. It seems like nowadays he is always getting hurt every season. It seems like. So no matter what you do, it seems like he's just always getting hurt. Left, right, he's always getting hurt. So, but yeah, that's my opinion on that. But would it surprise me if the Phillies went out there and actually potentially traded for Mike Trout with the Angels? No, just because the amount of rumors that have been going around talking about a potential Phillies Angels trade where Trout goes to the Phillies. But Um, yeah, I could totally see it. I believe the Phillies could use a hitter like that. Not that they already have talent on their own. They already have talent on that team. Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, Alec Bohm, several other guys, Bryson Stott, several other guys on the team that can contribute. Sometimes, sometimes they can contribute. Um, sometimes they can contribute, but um, I want to go back to ESPN and take a look at take a look at home. All right. Let's take a look at the bracketology, shall we? Let's take a look at the bracketology. Latest bracketology by Joe Lenardi. Alright, so bracket watch. So top overall seed, Auburn, first team out, Nebraska, last team in, SMU. Do I agree with this? Look, top overall seed, Auburn. I'm fine with that. Auburn looks like a really good team this year with Boom, I think his name is Boom, or his last name is Boom. But with Boom and every other player on that Auburn team, this team looks really good. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are a top overall seed. First team out, Nebraska. I Here's where I may disagree, just because I feel like is Nebraska's. Hello. Hey. Anyways, Nebraska is a whole lot better of a team than people say they are. Or I feel like Nebraska can do a whole lot better than the way I feel like they're starting off the season. Which maybe, I don't know. But I disagree with that. I think they'll make the tournament. Last team in, SMU. I agree with this. I don't think SMU is as good as as they look to be. I think I think at some point there's going to come a time where SMU is just going to drop and they're not going to really find a way back, or the pressure is going to get onto them and they're just not going to find their way back. So, yeah, so I agree with Auburn. I disagree with Nebraska, and I agree with SMU. On the bubble, last four byes: Utah State, Texas, Arizona State, Ohio State. Last four in: Drake, Missouri, St. Mary's, SMU. First four out: Nebraska, Vanderbilt, BYU, Iowa. Next four out: Creighton, LSU, Northwestern, and Louisville. Hey, 68 team bracket. So in the first four, we got, hey, Clara. Okay, well, American University against Southern University. And then you got Drake against St. Mary's, Hampton against Southeast Missouri State, Missouri against SMU. In the South region, Atlanta. One seed Auburn Tigers take on the winner of the first four matchup between Southern University and American University. Winner that would be the 16 seed of that region, of the South region. Then we have 8 seed Clemson against 9 seed West Virginia. That would be a good one. 5 seed Memphis against 12 seed Furman. That might also be a good one. 4 seed Texas A&M against 13 seed High Point. 6 seed Ole Miss against 11 seed Drake or St. Mary's. 3 seed Oregon against 14 seed UMass Lowell. 7 seed Michigan against 10 seed Utah State. 2 seed Kentucky against 15 seed Montana. In the West region, San Francisco. 1 seed Duke takes on 16 seed Youngstown State. 8 seed Georgia takes on 9 seed Texas Tech. 5 seed Oklahoma takes on 12 seed UC San Diego. 4 seed Houston takes on 13 seed Grand Canyon. Now let me hold on and let me wait. Let me talk about this real quick. So Houston has already had their ups and downs this season. But so I actually agree with this. I do genuinely feel like that Houston will be probably around the 3-4 seed range in this year's March Madness. We'll see. It's still pretty early in the season. I mean, heck, we're just now getting into conference play, basically. But we still got we still got 2 more months. We still got we still got 2 more full months to go, January and February, and then the first part of March before March Madness. But I think Houston will be around the 3-4 seed range. Anyways, they take on the 13 seed Grand Canyon Lopes. 6 seed Illinois against 11 seed Arizona State. 3 seed Gonzaga against 14 seed Central Connecticut. 7 seed St. John's against 10 seed Penn State. 2 seed Florida against 15 seed Indiana State. Whoops. In the East region, 1 seed Iowa State will take on 16 seed Hampton or Southeast Missouri State. 8 seed Wisconsin take on 9 seed Arkansas. 5 seed Michigan State takes on 12 seed Liberty. 4 seed UCLA takes on 13 seed Kent State. 6 seed Baylor takes on 11 seed SMU or Missouri. 3 seed UConn takes on 14 seed Princeton. 7 seed Maryland takes on 10 seed North Carolina. 2 seed Alabama takes on 15 seed Norfolk State. Now this matchup right here, 6 seed Baylor. Is Baylor a 6 seed? I feel like they would be around the 5 or 4 range. 6 if they lost a good majority of some of their games towards the end of the season, then I could see them turning into a 6 seed. But yeah. However, they would play the winner of the first 4 matchup between Missouri and SMU. Winner of that would be the 11 seed of the East region. Who would I rather face, Missouri or SMU? I would honestly face both. I don't think neither team is really that great, as the record shows. Missouri, I think they're only great as their record shows just because they've hardly played anybody so far this season until we enter conference play. But SMU, I saw that Missouri was capable of taking down Kansas. So for that matter, I'm gonna say SMU. We would rather play SMU in the first round of March Madness. if that even sticks. But yeah, so and UConn is a 3 seed. I do agree with that. In the Midwest region, the final region, 1 seed Tennessee Volunteers take on 16 seed Lamar. 8 seed Dayton takes on 9 seed San Diego State. 5 seed Purdue takes on 12 seed Arkansas State. 4 seed Mississippi State takes on 13 seed Lipscomb. 6 seed Pitt takes on 11 seed Ohio State. 3 seed Kansas takes on 14 seed South Dakota State. 7 seed Cincinnati takes on 10 seed Texas. 2 seed Marquette takes on 15 seed Merrimack. 1 seed Iowa State takes on 16 seed Hampton or Southeast. Oh wait, shoot, I already read that. So that is the latest NCAA bracketology, men's basketball bracketology by Joe Lenardi. But yeah, I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna go eat. Or no, sorry, not eat. I'm gonna go do some stuff. I'll be at my Aunt Kathy's house, helping her do some stuff at her house. So I'll be live later, probably this evening, around around I think like 5. We'll probably shoot for 5. Yeah, we'll shoot for 5. I'll be live again at 5, with my sister, and we'll be talking. Who knows what? But I'll see y'all there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, guys.